When you look at the group that is taxed, yeah, and you've talked about expanding the tax base to also include the informal sector, how would you describe the changes that are happening right now with the tax laws?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. That's a good question, and the National Treasury published their draft tax policy, trying to give guidance on how they're going to approach taxes for the next 5 years. The good thing about the policy is that they are trying to introduce some form of stability in such a way that if taxes are set, they don't change for about 5 years or so. But for a good tax regime, for you to set up a good tax regime, then you have to look at what we call the canons of taxation. And you're basically looking at 4 factors. Number one, the tax system has to be equal and equitable, which means that as many people as possible pay taxes, and also people pay according to their ability. So those who can pay more, pay more. Those who can pay less, then pay less. And when you talk about the hustler, because I know most Kenyans are hustlers, people who are living below 30,000, 20,000. So you don't want to overburden those people too much with taxes, because they also have their other living expenses to cater for. Now, the second thing to consider about proper tax system is convenience. So paying taxes should not be a burden, and it should not be a bother. And if people feel that paying taxes is too burdensome, then they tend to avoid taxes, and they tend to go informal. So things like you're looking at the TIMS, the tax invoice management system that was introduced by KRA about an year ago. By their very admission, the compliance with that system is about 60%. Because those devices that KRA want taxpayers to buy may be quite expensive. They cost between 60,000 and 150,000. So for small businesses that are struggling with paying rents and employees, that is a substantial cost. So some of the businesses may not see it as convenient. The other thing is, the economy. Is the cost of collecting taxes too much? Like the cost of collecting taxes from the small businesses, whether you're talking of matatus, whether you're talking of small traders, can be quite high. So compared to what you actually realize from those efforts, it may not make sense. So that's one of the other things that they need to look at. Obviously, the last one, if I may, the last one is certainty. The last canon is certainty. It should be very simple for even common people to tell when, how, and how much taxes should be paid. So if there's a problem if it requires a lot of technical expertise for people to comply with taxes, then again that tax system becomes hard to administer.